Oh my God, we're live. That's
oh my
crazy.
God, we're live.
We're live.
I've never met you before. Who
We
are
have
you?
never met. We have never met.
How did I get here?
There was never a podcast in which you appeared one time. That never existed.
Where I just like stealth appeared in the middle of your podcast, like, hey guys, I'm here.
Yeah, that was the best. So
That
many
was fun,
people.
'cause it was like a clown car of a podcast because I joined and then Lope joined and I think like Stella joined. Like it was just one
Cozy
after
was
the
there
other
at
of
one
just
point. Yeah, like
new
yeah.
VTubers appearing on screen randomly.
It was great. It was the best.
What you need to do is you need to like gaslight chat by cycling out people just slowly as the stream goes on. So just like you push like Evan out and you swap him in with me, and then you push like Mari out, you swap her out with Lope.
Yeah.
And by the end you have a completely different podcast, but you just never address it.
That's what I should have done. That would have been smart. Anyway, everybody, oh my God, it's Penumbral. That's crazy. Penumbral, go ahead and give yourself a little introduction for people who may not know you, but if you watch this channel, you know who Penumbral is.
Hi, chat. I mean, I can kind of. Here's what happened in VTubing last week in about 60 seconds.
See, there you
That's
go. Yeah.
me. I'm the guy.
He's the guy.
That disembodied voice that you hear in your algorithm every so often. That's me.
Here's what happened to VTubing last week in about 60
Bro,
seconds.
I've said it so often I can literally just, it's like a soundbite. I can whip it out. It's kind of great. I like doing
You
it
can
in...
whip it out. Whoa, relax. Easy
do
now.
not encourage the shippers.
Easy now. Penumbral Hill? That's crazy.
No, not Underhill, Mr. Numbral.
Mr. Numbral. Yeah, we were sitting in like the starting soon. We were like, Penumbral Hill? Mr. Umbral? Like, what would that even be?
The waiting room for the stream. Yeah, don't ask chat what our ship name will be. They'll come up with the worst possible idea.
Do it. You should do it. But yeah, I thought that, you know, this would be a great person to bring into the Burrowing Bakery, as we call it now.
Ooh, it's
yeah.
very swanky.
Yeah, lots of tea and but also baked goods, you know.
I'm British. We love those.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure you do. You like your
You're trying to think of a British dessert.
Yeah, I was
You're trying to think of British food that isn't heinous and an affront to God.
so I was like scones.
What do they put on? They put beans on chocolate.
Yeah. You guys, do you really put beans on toast? Is that actually a thing?
Beans
that
on
is
toast
disgusting.
slaps. Beans on toast goes
so
hard,
gross.
and people outside the country do not understand it. But it is actually unironically like, because you just put beans in a microwave and you put toast in the toaster, and then they both finish at the same time, and you slap them together. You got a breakfast.
You know what? I will do a stream where it's like Underhill tries beans on toast, and it will be great. Yeah, I will do a beans on toast stream.
You strike me as the kind of person to eat beans on toast with like a knife and fork. You give off those vibes.
A knife and
Do you eat pizza with a knife and fork?
I was gonna say no, but okay, but in which? Okay, this is gonna be such a strange question. In which direction do you eat your pizza?
From the pointy end.
So I go crust first. I eat the
What
crust
the
first,
fuck?
and then the rest of the pizza.
The
I'm the
crust is
only
you're
one
meant to
I know.
hold it.
So I hold it like on my the tips of my fingers, and I eat the crust first, and I'm the only person I know who eats it like that.
Because it's the wrong way to do it. That's like, it's saying, I put my pants on my head. I'm the only person that does that. Because it's
That's
wrong.
so weird. I wonder why that is.
You're doing it wrong.
By the way, I believe this is the second interview I've done live, I believe, because I think the first was Aya. So you have to follow that up. So
Oh, great. Yeah, no, that's an easy act to follow for sure. Definitely no big boots there.
Went from my Kamioshi in Niji to Penumbral. This is
whoever who let this man in.
Yeah, to Pen. Yay!
This is actually meant to be a solo stream. I just kind of appeared, and he's too polite to tell me to
I was
leave.
about to stream, and he walked into the bakery, and I was like, oh.
Yeah,
hey, Pen, how's
sure,
it going,
you
man?
can stay.
No, it's an interview. It was always an interview.
It's like a stray cat. You're like, I guess I have to feed it. God damn it.
You've offended the entire country of Italy. Silence! I have no idea what you mean.
Look, what's Italy gonna do about it?
Exactly. All of
They're
my
shaped
ants
like
just
a boot.
glaring at me.
What are they gonna do?
say?
Kick us?
Fun fact: I am not Italian. But for the longest, when I was a young owlet, a moist owlet back in the day.
Moist owlet.
When I was a young moist owlet, I thought I was Italian because all of my aunts were Italian. Right, but my
you meant relative aunts. I thought you meant like the aunts in your house.
No, like the relative aunts.
Were they carrying like pizza?
It was, all the tiny ants were carrying little tiny pizzas, and I was like, oh, we must be Italian. No, no, it was so my mom. So lots of circumstances. Mama Underhill had to basically raise me solo.
Okay.
And so her friends backed her up, which meant that I was raised with them, and they're all of Italian descent, but I mean like Italian, like nonnas and everything, right? And I just assumed I was Italian, right? And then my parents were like, "You're not Italian." I was like. And that was a very sad day.
It's like getting told you're adopted when you're an adult.
Yeah, I was like, this is crazy. That was a sad
Mamma
day.
mia.
Mama. Yeah. This does not mama the Mia. And they're like, that's not a phrase.
My Mias are not mama.
My Mias are unmammaed right now.
I mean, I get confused for it, like, because I think people outside Britain just hear vaguely British accents. And so, because I lived in Australia for half my life, while I was there, I got everything except Scottish. I got English, I got Irish, I got Welsh. Very rarely was anyone like, oh, you're from Scotland, because I think to everyone outside the island, it's like, which I think is fair, because when I look at like America or Australia, like they have entire states that are bigger than our country, but everybody in there's just kind of lumped together, so it makes sense, but it's still like
they're all American, you know? Yeah,
Canadian. That's wild, because like if you travel like 10 miles in Britain, you'll hit like a different country or a different county or whatever. But in America, you can walk 10 miles and you're just like, that's your next door neighbor. Like,
that's just another little area within your country. Like in Canada, we have the Canadians and then we have the Newfies, which are those from Newfoundland. We call them the Newfies. They're very lovely people, but they're too sweet. They're like
Scotland.
Honey.
We have the Ouija's, which are from Glasgow.
Oh.
Glasgow. Because people from Glasgow are called Glaswegians, which get kind of shortened to Ouija's. So.
Ouija's, I love it.
I don't know if it's not the same. It's not like Newfies, which is an affectionate term. Ouija's is very much like, oh God, it's a Ouija.
Oh, no, yeah, Newfie is affectionate. That's like said affectionately. Yeah.
People from Glasgow have a 50-50 chance of either stabbing you or hugging you. You're very much playing Russian roulette.
In Glasgow. I can't say
Glasgow.
It. Glasgow. I can't say it with the accent. It's just Glasgow.
No, Scottish is the most attempted accent that people think they can do, but they can't. And I think as a Scottish person, I kind of just have to sit there and be like, yeah, you're doing great, sweetie. But like inside, I'm like, ah.
Yeah. Everyone does the like, oh, McTavish and haggis and blah, blah, blah.
I think somebody told the wider world that Scottish people roll their R's a lot. And so every time somebody does a Scottish accent, they're like, you turn into like a pirate or like a machine gun. And it's just like...
The rolling hills of Scotland.
I have like a diet Scottish accent as well, because I lived in Australia for so long. So I dropped all the slang, all the fun words, because in Australia, I got tired of people not knowing what the hell I was saying.
Yeah.
But I still, like, when I'm talking to my parents and my relatives, I slip back into it. It's like a second language almost. And so sometimes I go on stream and I talk after talking to my parents, and I'm like, wait, I'm too Scottish. I've dialed the Scottish up too much.
Dial it back.
Dial it back.
If I go up north and come back, like I'll come back and be like, oh yeah, but I was like about like 20 clicks north, and I got myself a 2-4 and paid.
You come back riding a moose.
Yeah, bought myself a 2-4, paid mostly toonies. It was, chilly as fuck outside though, bud? So I had to wear my
I start saying I a lot, or I do the, I don't know if how Scottish pilled you are, but we don't say nt like int, like couldn't, shouldn't. We change it to nay. So we say wouldn't or couldn't or shouldn't.
Couldn't. Yeah, I've seen, couldn't they find hide nor hair of them?
Exactly. Or I'll start using weird terms like fankle or humplick, which nobody outside of Scotland has ever heard of.
Humplick is great.
Humplick is like a term for like just a pile of stuff. Like if you throw all your clothes that you just got out the washing machine on your chair, that's a humplick.
I'm
like
using that from now on. Humplick is my new word.
It's a great word. Fankle is like when things get tangled. So like if you put your headphones in your pocket and pull them out, you're like, oh, they're all in a fankle. But it's very much Scottish slang that nobody else gets. So I've said a few of those on stream sometimes, and people are like, "What? Are you having a stroke?"
That's amazing. I can give you a Canadian word. Tilly. You're having a tilly, bud. Tilly.
Is it like a freak out or a?
Oh, you're having a tilly is like you're like you want to have a tilly, bud. You're trying to have a tilly. A tilly is a fight.
Fight?
Yeah, a fight. You're trying to have a tilly, bud. And if you hear bud in Canada,
oh yeah, no,
it's not good.
That's like pal.
Yeah,
in
easy.
Scotland.
Yeah, easy pal. Like that's like, you done. That's not affectionate. That's derogatory. Like,
yeah. I mean, I've heard like, isn't the whole stereotype about Canadians is that they're really nice. So like, do you get in tillies that often, or is it?
So the stereotype is like half right. So Canadians are nice, but it's not like a nice. It's not nice in the way that you think. It's politeness, right? But a lot of Canadians are polite, but they're not nice. You know,
right?
Like, if that makes any sense. Like they will be polite. It's more like chivalry, right? Where it's like I am forced to be polite because that is like the nature of this country, but I don't like most of you. You know, like that's kind of the way it is.
I think Scotland's like the opposite because we like. I think if you heard us, it might sound like people are being rude to you, but that's just how we speak. Like we kind of all sound like we're constantly trying to have a fight, but we're actually not generally. Unless you're in Glasgow, then you might be in for a fight. We call a fight a rammy.
A rammy.
Or a rammy if you were to be really rammy.
Rammy.
Because that's Scottish people. We don't like roll we like tap our R's. And a certain rabbit can't roll her R's, which I tease her with relentlessly, and she gets very mad about it.
As well you should. As well you should.
Yeah. If somebody can do something, mock them for it. I
do have a funny story, and then we'll get to the questions. I swear, this is an interview. So again, another Mama Hill story. I got more of those than I ever have. I very rarely talk about the family, but
I just make you feel comfortable.
Yeah,
man. That guy.
That's all. Yeah, exactly. See, we're nice and cozy. So my mom and I, we used to watch like a lot of TV. Now we don't. And so she's like, we never watch stuff anymore. And I was like, there's a show that I've been meaning to watch. Do you want to check it out? And she goes, sure. And that was Broadchurch. Right. And that's the main star in that is David Tennant.
I love David Tennant.
He's the best.
He's so good. He's my favorite Doctor.
He's the best because he's still the best one. Although Shooty's pretty great too. I've only seen the first episode of the new season, but nobody tell me anything.
I watched, I think, the first episode with Evan in VC, and it was funny. But I haven't really caught up with Doctor Who since the 12th, since Capaldi.
Capaldi was so good. I really liked him.
Sorry, I took you way off topic onto Doctor Who. My
bad. So we were like, I was like, yeah, let's watch Broadchurch. The millisecond he started talking, I understood everything because I've spent most of my teenage years watching nothing but British television. Right. So I get the accent. I understand it. It like there's no barrier, right? Like I hear it. I get what they're saying.
Yep.
Not Mama Hill. She was so confused. She's like, I don't understand what most of them are saying, but definitely not him about David Tennant because he uses his because people think like, oh, his actual accent is like on. Is like how it is in Doctor Who. No.
Yeah, no, he's Scottish.
Yeah.
My favorite Doctor Who episode is the one where they time travel back to like medieval Scotland, and David Tennant puts on a Scottish accent to try and fit in.
Yeah.
So it's David Tennant playing an English person playing a Scottish person is very funny.
I was chasing her over hill and dale. So good. Well, and then what is Billy Piper's like? Yes, I was oot and a boot, and I'm like, that's Canadian.
It's so bad.
I was like, that's Canadian.
Yeah, because David Tennant obviously has a natural Scottish accent, but she doesn't. So it's really
so
funny.
Yeah. But yeah, that's my we had to watch it with subtitles, which was hilarious.
Yeah, I liked it when Capaldi became the Doctor and like he first transformed and he's like, I am Scottish.
I'm Scottish.
And it's really funny.
Well, he says
Tennant
something
was
funny.
Scottish.
Well, yeah, because Tennant was Scottish. He's like, I'm Scottish, which means I could be really. I forget what he says. He's like, I could be aggressive now, or something like that. Like,
I can complain about things.
Yeah, I can complain about things now. Yeah. Look at these eyebrows. These are attack eyebrows. That's so good.
I love Capaldi.
He's so good.
Bro, Heaven Sent is probably one of my favorite episodes of television ever.
Yeah.
It's such it is literally just Capaldi basically in a room for an entire episode and he just steals it. It's incredible.
It's the best episode of the whole season. I'd say it's probably his best episode of the run.
I would say, yeah.
Like, because there is like, sorry, this is becoming Doctor Who talk. But like, there is the one where he's in it's like the Zygon invasion, and he gives this big speech. I think that might be the best speech of the
war
whole show.
one.
Yeah.
The one about like no one else will ever have to feel this pain.
Yeah,
that one. Yeah, that's
till it burns your
great
hand.
monologue.
Yeah. Oh, it's so good.
Capaldi's monologuing is so good. Like when you give him good dialogue, like I think the weakest episodes of the show are the ones where like Capaldi's ability to dialogue and monologue is taken away.
Yeah.
But when they just give him like a stage and are like, go, he's so good. I didn't want to sidetrack this.
No. Yeah, we'll stop on Doctor Who because if we don't, we'll be here forever. This is an interview. This is supposed to be an interview. Yeah. So I am going to interview you. Are you prepared?
I am ready.
Okay, I got a bunch of
Who
questions.
Who wants to be a millionaire?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I'm ready to get all the answers right. I win my interviews.
Hell yeah, you have to win the interview. Otherwise,
it's
can't
a competitive experience.
Exactly. There actually is a competitive part to this.
Oh, God.
Yeah. I've never seen anyone lose, to be fair.
I will be the first. You underestimate my power.
You underestimate my power. It's over, Anakin. Sorry.
Don't try it.
Yeah, don't try it. That's
another actor who's Scottish who isn't allowed to have his Scottish accent on screen.
That's so strange. Everything I see him in, he's don't try it, Anakin. Like, to be fair,
I am very posh.
Yeah, I am very posh, Anakin. Like, don't try it. Like, to be fair, he does have to play another actor playing a character most of the time.
True. Yeah.
Anyway, we're not going into Star Wars either. We're getting into this. Okay. Are you ready?
I am ready. I'm prepared.
What is your favorite kind of tea?
Ooh.
Not like the VTuber tea, like actual tea.
Yeah, no. I love it when there's drama about models. That's my favorite.
Yeah. Model VTuber tea is the best kind of tea.
No, okay, I think I have to confess, I'm not actually, like, my favorite tea is the tea that comes in the bag that you get from like...
But like, so orange pico then? Like, that's just basic tea.
Like the Lipton tea. I tried Earl Grey the other day because we ran out of tea bags and I think my mum just bought some and I put it in and I was like, whoa, this is it actually because okay. I feel like I'm gonna lose my British citizenship here.
Here we go.
When I drink tea, put in a lot of milk and like 4 sugars.
Holy shit, dude!
I once got sent a meme that was like, imagine falling in love with someone and their tea looks like this, and it was just a picture of how I take my tea, and because it was like it wasn't like black, it was like the kind of beige color, and I was like, oh no, that's me.
There's nothing wrong with like, so in Canada we call like 2 milk, 2 sugar a double. Right? Mm-hmm. So most Canadians drink tea or coffee double, right? So,
right.
Or like triple is if you're like crazy, but you're especially crazy. So it's like quadruple. You know, like
yeah. I mean, I think I normally just have the Yorkshire tea, the whatever comes in the box with the sheep on it. That's what I know.
Now, hang on, I have to look this up now. Oh, God damn
I don't know what.
Like I slept on my arm wrong, and it hurts when I type.
Oh no. My least favorite thing is when I bang my funny bone midstream and I have to like sit there in agony for a while.
Yeah, it's the least. That's nobody likes that. I'm pretty sure this is just Yorkshire tea. Just looks like, and it's just the regular
black
box.
Tea.
Yeah,
I think it's just black tea.
It's just orange pico. Yeah, that's just
yeah, I don't have very refined because I mean to me. Tea is more just an excuse to have biscuits. I'm gonna be honest. Like the 90% of the tea experience is me dipping digestive biscuits in it and eating them like a feral little gremlin child. Because I don't know, man. Digestives are good normally, but like when they're like slightly, when you dip them in tea and they get like warm and a little bit soft. Oh,
Every Everyone calls me
inevitably
an
I do
old
hold it.
man.
No.
In Canada they refer to digestive like the little like biscuits. They refer to those as old man cookies.
But they're so good.
They're so good.
And inevitably you hold one in too long and it drops into your cup and you're like, oh god damn it.
Yeah, because now the tea's gross. Because you're like, well,
And
now
then-
there's like little bits.
And you're gonna get to the end and it's gonna be soggy digestive.
Yeah,
You know what?
you're
They
like,
do-
great.
Have you ever had a Tim Tam Slam?
Tim Tam Slam. No, I have not. That sounds.
So Tim Tam Slam is an Australian thing.
Okay.
And basically what you do is you take it. Do you know what a Tim Tam is?
It sounds familiar.
It's a chocolate biscuit that is basically, it's like, I don't know how you describe it. It's really thick chocolate through the middle, right? It's basically all just chocolate. And what you do is you bite, it's in a rectangle shape. And you bite one corner, you bite the other corner, like diagonal, and then you put it in the tea and use it as a straw. It's like a penguin. You know a penguin biscuit?
Yeah. No. Okay. I do know what you're saying. I do
Yeah.
see it. I can see the madness. I can see
so
the method
good.
of the madness.
Because the tea melts it on the way through the Tim Tams, so you end up with like a chocolate straw, and it is. You don't get Tim Tams over here really, or like they're probably in the Australian island, cost like $500,000.
I can.
But they're I
Jesus.
miss them.
I can tell that in a past life I was an alcoholic, because when you said Tim Tam Slam, I was like, is that some kind of drink?
I don't think I'd do it
immediately.
with alcohol. I think
Yeah.
I struggle to do them sober. I think if I was drunk, I'd end up just drinking my Tim Tam.
So when I used there was a pub that we used to go to, and one of their specials was this thing called a loaded Corona, which that name has aged terribly.
It's definitely loaded now.
Yeah, oh yeah, now that's a very loaded name for a loaded drink. So basically, and I remember the only reason we even tried it was because, forgive me, like, you know who you are, and so does chat. But basically we tried it because everyone had the hots for the bartender at the time.
Oh no.
So we were just like, yeah, like everyone wanted to show how cool and tough they were. So they're like,
Right.
so we're like, yeah, whatever, for sure. And she's like, okay. All right, because she said, like, you could have a load of Corona, but she said it like, you could have a load of Corona. Like, you know,
If you
like,
dare.
if you dare, right? So we're like, all right. So it's literally just, like it's, like, I'd say it's like a pint, like, it's about the size of a pint, right? And it's just filled with Corona, the drink, not the disease or illness.
I'd hope so. That'd be kind of crazy.
Yeah, that'd be
I think we
really
found where the
crazy.
outbreak started.
Yeah,
guys.
exactly, in this bar. And then the only thing that makes it quote unquote loaded is they just take a shot filled with their strongest tequila and drop it into the drink. That's all it is.
Brutal.
And it tasted so good. That's the weirdest thing.
Really?
It was so good. I will never understand why it was so good.
I've heard Corona's like pretty rough though. Like to
Corona's
drink.
gross and tequila's awful. Like,
Is
and
Corona
yet for
a
some reason they're so
beer?
good. Corona is a beer. Yeah, Corona's
Oh,
like
yeah, no,
yeah,
I hate beer.
it's hang on, I'll show you a picture of it. Corona's usually like Corona.
I've
like,
seen
I
it in
associate with, like,
memes.
yeah, like I associate Corona with like poolside. You know,
Right.
like, it's a poolside drink.
Honestly, like even like for a Scottish person, I wasn't really a big drinker in uni. I like cider, and I've recently started drinking soju because of a certain person. And I like a good I like a good Scotch whiskey. But if I'm ever out drinking, generally, if it's light drinking, I'm getting a cider. If it's like we're getting fucked up, I'm getting like a rum and coke, a rum and coke, or like a rum and Sprite or a vodka and coke, something like that.
Yeah.
You can just down those. You can get like a full jug of like with 6 shots in it, but you throw a decent amount of coke in there, you can chug that stuff, and then you're wasted, and you're like, what the f?
Well,
I feel like I haven't drank anything.
It's too easy to get like plastered now, I find.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
there's too many drinks that just obliterate you.
the alcoholism arms race is kind of crazy. Like we very much streamlined the drinking experience to be like, hey, do you want to? Soon you're gonna get one of those like insulin pens, but you're just gonna inject alcohol directly into your liver.
Yeah.
Just-
Exactly. Do you want drinks or do you want drink? You know.
It's gonna be like concentrated ethanol. Just
So funny. Okay. Next question. Do you have any plans that you can share? Any projects you're cooking up? Anything you want to talk
Ooh.
about?
I guess technically, so I recently I've kind of been I've been kind of burnt out on VTubers a little bit, which is wild to say, not like as an entertainment form, but just as a content aspect. Like I've been doing this kind of stuff for like 2 years now, and doing it every week, talking about like VTuber news and whatnot, is very much got me to the point where I'm like, I need something else. But I'm also very aware of how YouTube works, and if I start uploading completely different videos to my channel, people probably aren't going to be big fans. So I'm actually, it's not done yet because I'm waiting until I get my first video done. But I'm starting a second channel, basically just going to be like a dumping ground for like all the little video ideas I've had that don't fit. So
that's
like
cool. Right on.
Like anime analysis videos, like show analysis videos, maybe game analysis, kind of stuff like that. Because I did on my channel, actually, like my third most popular video, which nobody should watch because I made it when I was first starting out and I had no idea what I was doing, is actually like an analysis of like My Hero versus Fate, like comparing the two. And even though looking back at it now, I'm like, man, that's a really, like, from a technical standpoint, it's a very poorly made video. Like, the audio is all over the place, the editing's bad, right? But in terms of enjoyment, I loved making that video because it was like two series that I was very much like into, and I got to like compare them and like vent my thoughts for like 20 minutes. So that's probably the only thing I'm like cooking up, is that I'm planning eventually, I'll make a community post about it when it goes out, but yeah, I'm planning on having a second channel go up sometime soon. That's probably starting with an Oshinoko video, because I want to talk about Oshinoko. I love Oshinoko.
I did like it. And
I haven't seen the second season.
Okay.
Is that why you don't like it?
No, it was manga stuff that I saw.
Oh, the manga. Are you talking about the manga chapter? That manga. Okay, no, you know what? You're 100% correct. I'm just not going to acknowledge that in the video because I've locked it away in the little part of my brain I don't acknowledge about shows I like.
Because I was like, because it's like. Okay, there's shows that I like want to show to people where I'm like, dude, this series is so good, you have to check it out, it's so good. And then it's like, surprise incest.
Bro, you know what that show is for me? Like, have you seen Fire Force?
Oh, goddamn.
That show is it for me, because that show is like 90% peak. The animation is good. The power system is cool. The world is amazing. The sound design in that show is
the sound design is so good.
The sound is so good. But there's also just a character that for no goddamn reason just gets like naked every 30 minutes, and you're like, why?
Oh my god. Tamaki's the worst, dude. Tamaki is like.
And it's like mid-actions. Oh, wait, I think I haven't. Where's my angry toggle? I don't know what I'm...
Angry
wait,
eyes.
I'm on I was looking at the stream and I'm like, wait, why my toggle's not working? It's good. Hang on, where's my toggles aren't working. Underhill, you've broken my toggles.
I have done no such thing.
Underhill, I can't put my hoodie on either. Underhill, what have you done?
What have I done? Wait.
Oh, I found it.
There you go. Okay. Excellent. Tamaki.
Tamaki. I hate you.
You ruined it. You ruined it. Well, because I used to. I don't know if you know this. You might know this. I know the Parliament knows this. Mainly because I technically still run this channel. It's not gone. But I used to be JoJo Talks Too Much, which was I covered seasonal anime on that channel.
Right.
And I used to talk about Fire Force. And I ended up not watching it anymore, and it was one of the shows that made me realize I don't like doing that anymore. Like, I didn't like the content that I didn't realize that I still liked anime and I still liked talking about it. I just didn't like the shonen type shows anymore.
I feel that.
Yeah, because I was like, dude, why can't, like, there was a show that was all hands. All hands, like no, and I didn't care. I loved it anyway. It was God of High School. God of High School was so peak. It was all hands.
The plot was trash, but I loved the fight.
Just all hands.
Just watching people. I love watching dudes just beat the shit out of each other. It's great.
Well, and I would talk about it, and I would be like, and this is what I mean, right? Like, this is where. And if you notice, I also talk about VTubers like this, and I get the same reaction. I realize, like, I'm just gonna have the same reaction wherever I go. Fun fact: I'm eventually gonna talk about wrestling like this too one day. But like, I would be like, "Damn, bro, what was his name? I forget Jin. Yeah, Jin Mori. I was like, Jin and Ilpyo have chemistry. They got sparks, bro. Because there's that scene where like they're fighting, and then like he gets Jin's leg up and he's like right in his face and they're laying on top of each other and I'm like, yo, they fucking, right? And so I had said that and a bunch of dudes were like, what do you mean, bro? What do you mean? I'm like, do you not have eyes? You know, I was like, what do you mean? There's nothing else in the show.
Off the chart.
Yeah, I was like, there's nothing else in the show. I gotta talk about something. Otherwise, it's just, man, they were really throwing hands.
I mean, I do have a pet peeve of like, because I am one of the people that I think like platonic friendships are kind of underrated in a lot of spaces in terms of like the depth of character you can. Because I think I've had a rant about this built up in my head for ages, but like I think because with relationships it's like an on or off toggle thing, right? Like you can break up or be together, but generally you have to put a label on it. Whereas like platonic friends, like very rarely do you go to a friend and you're like, we're breaking up. We'll never, like a lot of time if you have a problem with a friend, it's like a gradual thing, and there's a lot of like character I think you can explore through platonic friendships. So I do have a bit of a pet peeve. I have this with like male female friendships as well in shows where it's like you could just have them be friends, like you don't have to.
That's my biggest gripe.
But also in shows with nothing else, I think it's very valid to start just shipping dudes with each other, because like what else are you gonna talk about?
Like, so you know, this is no secret, like I come from like the Fujoshi like fan base, right? Like that's like, that's crazy. Yeah, like that's where I come from, right? Like Fujoshi raised me, you know. I was raised on Junjo Romantica and Kingdom Hearts Dojin.
You wouldn't survive in the asylum where they raised me.
Exactly, it's just Junjo posters and like Kingdom Hearts Dojin everywhere. Like you know, I come from a weird era. To the point where I find a lot of the BL that comes out now to be kind of boring because it's too tame. I'm like, this is too happy. I need my pain.
Where is my tragedy?
Yeah, where's the tragedy? Where's the pain? Where's the problematic shit? But yeah, like I will say it, like I do have like my interest in like I know that like some Fujoshi ship like Itadori and Toto from Kaisen. Right?
Yeah.
Like my brother, like my best friend, right. You know? And I'm like, they are so clearly just bros.
Yeah, there's not really a lot of intimacy there.
No, that like, but I love their friendship. Like to me, I'm like, they're so fun, right? Like, and I'm like, we need more like bro TPs. Like nobody ever talks about bro TPs,
exactly.
You know? And bro TP could be girls too. Right? Like,
yeah, and I think it is part of like a weird cultural thing as well, which I think leads to dudes being kind of afraid to like talk to each other properly, is because the moment you step over that boundary, people are like, oh wow, you into each other. It's like, no, you can have dudes that are like just affectionate, but then also there's nothing wrong with shipping them. So you have this weird fight where like you have half of the people that are like, if you don't ship the guys, you're clearly just like against BL.
Yeah, you're against BL. Well, because to me, like it's mind numbing when I hear that kind of thing.
But then you also have the other side where it's like, if you ship two guys together ever, I hate you and you're the worst. And probably a bunch of hate speech comes out as well.
Probably a bunch of slurs. Yeah.
Yes.
A bunch of stuff that was carved into my locker when I was a kid. Fun fact that actually did happen.
That's
it was the F slur got carved into my locker when I was a teenager.
Bro, you can't even explain that as like a time thing, because that's not really been appropriate for a while.
Because that would have been 2011. Yeah, so that was not. It still was not like that. Stopped being cool at that point.
No,
like you're not supposed to say that shit.
No.
But it just made me be like, well, I suppose this can only mean that I must be more flamboyant.
I must become what they hate the most.
So I just would walk around those people like, hello, you know, just really turn it up, you know.
It's hilarious.
Yeah, it was the best. Anyway, leave news. Trust me, it's better when you leave. Just no more.
Just get out.
Just get out. Just get out.
I mean, the thing is, part of me, every time I want to, though, I'll see like a comment on my shirt, be like, yo, I really appreciate these. And I'm like, oh, I don't want to stop because people like it. But also there's a part of me that's like, oh.
I know exactly what you mean. Like the only reason why I do like the quote unquote burrowing bakery, because again, I've never ever done any type of talk show about VTubers before. And I certainly have never heard of two people who were on that show.
Absolutely not.
Except for Mark. But
who's the other guy?
I don't know him. But
who let him in here?
Exactly. Who's that? So the only reason why that exists is because of the amount of people who have said like, we really appreciate you because you don't have, you're not aggressive. I will say I hate when people say you don't have bias. I'm like, I am very, very obviously biased towards a certain company, not against them like a lot of other people are. Pause for dramatic effect.
Pause for pause champ.
Pause champ. So like
wink wink nudge.
But like so like it's the only reason why I've kept that going, right? Because otherwise I'm like, I just don't care anymore. Like honestly, I started working more shifts at my retail gig because I'm like, honestly, I work at a pet store. I'd rather just hang out with pets. Like
that's cool. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I like so we don't have like animals in the store outside of cats. We have cats for adoption all the time, so I get to hang out with cats, and dogs are allowed to come in the store. I've had a snake come in the store once.
That sounds peak.
Yeah, it was really cool. The pet snake was so rad. Like he would crawl up your arm and he'd like give you a little head
Dude,
nod.
Snakes are so cool.
Snakes are super cool. Yeah.
I think if I didn't have dogs, I'd have had a snake, but I wouldn't want both in the house at the same time.
No, they would fight.
Like, yeah, no.
Yeah. But no, it's been really. I was like, I'd rather do that and then this on the side as like my side hustle, you know.
Yeah.
So it's the only reason why I've kept doing it is because people have said like it's, you know, we appreciate you doing it. Right?
There's also a thing of I think people with that sort of mindset kind of naturally get pushed out a little bit, which means that the new space ends up just kind of being only the people that have that very strong like kind of drama farming bias a lot of the time, which kind of leads into this weird, you know, self-fulfilling prophecy spiral of like the only people that can survive and like have the mental capacity to stay in are oftentimes not necessarily the most like unbiased source.
Yes, exactly.
So it's sort of this thing because I mean obviously everybody has bias, right? Like everybody, every viewer, every audience member, everybody in chat, everybody has bias towards one way or the other. But I do try, especially in my shorts, to be unbiased, although I have noticed myself slipping a lot more recently because of the burnout. Like I've just kind of it's gotten to the point where I'm just like, I don't care and I'm just whatever.
I'm just gonna make what I want to make now. I've noticed my filter has dropped, right? Because before I used to be like, well, that's their opinion and blah blah blah, and now I'm just like, I'm gonna be honest, I just don't give a fuck. Like I just don't care what they have to say. I've
hit that so much recently when like a new Twitter thread comes out about like a VTuber drama and like I'm reading it for the short and to like make sure I'm informed, and I hit the point where I'm like, what substance is there here? Like, what is there that's actually important to my life or the life of most people?
Okay, do you care if I talk about something?
No, go.
Okay,
so pop off, King.
Thank you, King. Kings recognize kings.
Real recognize real.
Real recognizes real. So it was the Fillion thing happened, right? And it was the first episode of the Burrowing Bakery, and I'm like, God fucking damn it. Right? Like, of course this happened. So I put it in the thumbnail because Fillion's quite the popular VTuber and people are gonna want to know what I have to say.
Yep.
Immediately, a Fillion, with zero respect, a Fillion dick rider of the extreme was like, how come you're talking about this? You said you're not a drama tuber. And I'm like, I'm a commentary channel and I have shit to say. Right? Yeah. Is Moist Critical a drama tuber by that logic? Like,
it's just, I think drama tubers just become like a term people use because
I
don't like you. I don't want to listen. I don't want to listen to what you say. So I'm going to put you in this box, and then you don't get to leave this box, and your opinions don't count because I've put you in here.
Exactly.
Like if a big streamer, like if a streamer with, I'm not going to name someone to like put the like spotlight on that, but like if a indie VTuber with like a big audience, whatever, went on a 20-minute rant about a news thing, right, and it got clipped and put on YouTube for 200,000 views, nobody'd be like, oh my god, she's such a drama tuber. But when you do it as your content, people immediately like, oh well, your opinion's less valuable now. Like, you know, my Oshi can go on a rant about it, but you can't.
I will say, if we're talking about the same thing, I laughed hysterically, but that's also because I don't like the person that was being spoken about. So I'm like, I don't care, right? But that's just it. It's come down to feelings, how you feel.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like it's very much a. I mentioned this in a comment as well because I obviously do my news stream every week, and I also had to talk about the same thing.
Yeah.
There was a few people in chat that were I'm not going to say calling me out, but we're like talking about how like people were like overblowing it and like dragging up past dramas and like how this was disproportionate to blah 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 blah, right?
Yeah.
And somebody in my comments were like, it's kind of wild to see how many people are just immediately jumping to our defense and acting like nothing went wrong, even though very clearly there was at least some wrongdoing here.
Yeah.
And I kind of replied with my kind of, just, I kind of took the filter off. I was like, so many people in this community have picked a side. They have their Oshis, they have their side that they fight on. And no matter what happens or who says what, they will either hate a person or love a person. And anyone who says any differently gets just dumpstered.
Well, it's extremely parasocial. Like,
exactly.
Yeah.
And it's, I don't know. I think we were talking about this a bit before stream, but like so much of VTubing now is just pick a side and fight for it. Like not... Because if you admit you're wrong in any capacity, people will immediately jump down your throat and use that as leverage for the future.
Oh yeah, well, and that's the thing is I'm not afraid to admit like, oh yeah, I was off base on something, right? And people have used that to be like, oh, blah, blah, blah. To this day, there was an incident that happened, right? To this day. I was on fucking vacation when this happened.
Yeah.
And people still say that I ran from the situation. I'm like, motherfucker, I was on vacation. I was not even in the same space. I had no access to my computer. Right? And when I did, and then I'm like, and if you're smart enough to type, which I at this point I quite frankly doubt it, you'd be able to find that I did fucking talk about it. You know,
bro, people, you can't please them. Like, if you talk about it, you're a drama tuber and you're farming for content, and you just listen to the person. You shouldn't have to speak about it. What's the point, right? Yeah. But if you don't speak about it, oh, why aren't you speaking about this? You're being unfair. You're being biased. You're not going to talk about this thing. It's like, you can't win. No, you can't. You genuinely cannot please some people, and I just wish everything. I wish people would like die. Honestly, I just wish the community as a whole would take a bit of a chill pill.
Yes.
En masse. Like, I feel like we're at like actual politics level
political.
of anger.
I was thinking the same thing. It's almost political.
We're at like American politics level of hatred for each other about shit that is like at least 3 tiers below. Like, it is just like, yes, some very people. Some very bad shit does happen, and that shit definitely deserves to be talked about seriously, obviously. But the vast majority of quote unquote drama in this sphere is like 3 tiers below what we talk about it as. It is like, hey, we talk about it as if somebody is being like assassinated, but we should really be talking about it like something you heard in high school. Like, that's the level it should be like, oh man, did you hear about that thing? Man, that's kind of crazy. That's not, how dare you, I'm going to kill your family.
Well, that's what it should be, because half the time it's just like, oh, this VTuber that I don't like did this thing. Therefore, like, I must rant about it. Congratulations to this day will forever. I still make that joke. Like, when people are like, this drama tuber said this, I'm like, yeah, well, congratulations to them, I guess. I don't really care. After that, I stopped. After congratulations, I was like, I no longer take any of this shit seriously.
That was the peak of like meaningless nonsense bullshit that got blown out of proportion. Yeah, like that's where I stopped caring. You saw it a week later when a different, agency did the same thing, and very few people cared. Right? Like, it was very much
because that's the
was always it was very much a point I reached as well, where I was like, man, people just like being angry. People just like hating on things, and people like just want to feel justified being angry, and so they will go out of their way to blow everything out of proportion. And it's not actually about how they feel about a thing. It's about, I have justification for being a hateful person.
Well, that's just it,
I just don't care anymore. I'm at the point where I'm like, bro, it's not that deep. It's not that serious. Like,
do you ever just want to be a VTuber? Like, you don't want to talk about them anymore? You just want to be a VTuber?
So much on stream. Yeah. I'm so like a little bit jealous of like the people that like they just get to go live and like play Minecraft for 3 hours, and that's their content.
Well, it kicks, like, I'm kicking myself because I'm like, man, I think I did the wrong thing. Like, I feel like I went the wrong way, but I just liked VTubers and wanted to talk about them.
Exactly. Yeah. I had no intention, like, I didn't even start like doing news. I had no intention of like being a YouTuber or getting into like YouTubing at all. Yeah. I really like some VTubers. Like, I was a huge fan of like Numi, right? And I was like, I want to talk about it. I want to make videos about it. And then I did it, and that got, I had an interaction with Numi from it and Numi's fan base. And it was like very much oh, hey, cool. Now I'm interacting with the fan base that I am already a part of and I liked. So I kept doing it.
Yeah.
And then it just kind of spiraled until at first I was talking about, hey, I like these VTubers. And I was like, oh man, this VTuber I like did something bad. And then I'm like, oh, now I'm just talking about drama.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we very quickly became TMZ.
It's like
it was very unfortunate.
Bro, that's why I kind of like, even for drama tubers, I do to a certain extent have a bit of sympathy because I know how easy it is to fall down that hole. Like I'm very aware of how praising like the human psyche. I'm very well aware of how easy it is to see number go up because you did this thing, number go down because you did this thing. Oh, I should do the number go up thing. And then you do that for long enough, and then you look back at where you started, and you're like, wait, what the hell happened? Like, how did I get here?
Rent was due. You know?
Yeah, like it's such an I think people underestimate it's such an easy pipeline to fall into, like of very subtle, small changes to your demeanor, to the way you talk about things, to the because you're also just getting constant feedback in chat and like from Twitter, and if that's validating what you're doing, it just feeds back into how you talk about things, and then you eventually get to the point where you're like, wait, I'm just encouraging anger and hatred and stuff here, and that's bad. Like,
I think inevitably they will have that moment.
Yeah, you inevitably get that moment of realization where you kind of look back and you're like, wait, what?
Yeah, what happened? Well, like to this day, I don't mind sharing this. I won't say who because I'm not trying to get smoked here. Yeah. But there was a prominent like now drama tuber, I guess, who told me that they did not like my content because it was too much drama. They don't associate nor like drama. And then a couple months later, number go up, you know, like
it's the people underestimate the sort of YouTube number, what it can do to your mental state of like, because it's very easy to like brush it off and be like, oh, just do your own thing, you know, like who cares? But it is very, I don't think there's a person alive that wouldn't be disparaged by seeing something that they do that they like get less like attention than something that they do that they don't like. And so it becomes very easy to fall into the hole of, well, I'm just going to keep doing the thing that works because that's what people like. Yeah. As opposed to, that's kind of why I'm doing like a second channel and not just transitioning my channel into it. Because I know things would get less views, people would like it less. And I don't actually care. I think on a new channel, I wouldn't care about views. I wouldn't care about how much attention it got because it'd be like a different section of my brain. Yeah. So I kind of just want that freedom of like, I can just do whatever. It might get 30 views and, you know, die in the algorithm and nobody would ever talk about it, but I'll be happy with it. I'll have made a thing I am proud of, which is something I haven't felt in a while.
That's exactly like it's part of the reason why I'm like inevitably I think I'll make another, like whenever I make like a JoJo talks too much video and I like go back, right? Like even just to rant about something. Like I ranted about the inevitable cancellation of Yuri on Ice from Mappa. Oh, God, and I felt good about it. I ranted, it was good, and it was fun to make because I like my thing is I just like I'm a big like podcast person. Like I like having content that I could just have on in the background. Yes. Right? So it was nice to just make a video that like all the visuals was just B-roll. You know, and it was nice and it was fun and I liked it. And funny enough, that video did better than my last 10 on this channel. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, yeah.
I think it's also just like I haven't posted a long form video on my main channel in like a year, right? And I've multiple times over the course of the year been like, oh, I've got this video in the works and this video in the works. And inevitably what happens is I'll have an idea for what I think is like a good video, right? Like a video that will do well. Then I'll write the script and I'll record it and I'll get to editing it and I'll listen to what I'm saying and I'll realize that I don't like the content itself and I don't agree with what I'm saying like a minute ago. And I like editing itself is like editing is probably the least rewarding part of making something. Yes. I think every other part is like when you're coming up with the idea, when you're writing, when you're recording, every part of that is like there's a little bit you can do that is like self-expressive and you're, you know, expressing your opinion or you're writing or you're creating. Editing is like the grind. It is the thing that I think tests most your commitment to the video. And I would get to that bit routinely of the editing section. I'd realize I'm not proud of this video already. I'm not even finished it and I'm already like over it. Yeah, exactly. And every time I get there, that just kills my motivation for the video, which is why, you know, I kind of want to just dump a bunch of video ideas in another place and hope that kind of rekindles my flair, if you will.
Your Ric Flair? Sorry.
My Ric Flair.
Ric Flair. Woo. Well, it's funny. I swear to God, we'll move on to the next question soon. But it's just, this is interesting, and I never get to talk about this with someone who gets it, you know? Like, I know Penn gets it. This is very important.
We are the same.
Yeah. Like, we are the same.
You and I are not so different.
We're not so different, you and I, Mr. Bond. No, but, so I was gonna tweet out, like, about what you said, where it's very easy to fall into that trap. Right?
Yeah.
I wanted to tweet out, like, I don't think anybody who gets mad and like screenshots tweets, which I'm so thankful that is slowly going away, because I kept seeing a certain dude's tweets all the time.
Yep.
And I'm like, I have him blocked for a goddamn reason. Stop it. Right? And like, but the sad thing is that could be so many people. I immediately in my head I was like, yeah, there's about 3 or 4 people on the top of my head I could think of. There's a couple people that could be. And people like, so people get so mad at everything that these like a whole group of people would say, right? And I'd be like, okay, I don't think you guys realize, and this is the sad truth, most of them probably don't even actually like deep down care about the things that they claim to be angry at. It's a grift. Like, and I don't even think they realize that it's a grift. Like, a lot of them just fell into it and they see number go up. So part of them might be like, oh, I dislike this, but enough to make like agency VTuber did horrible thing. Like, no, like they don't actually care that much. It's just number go up because they know that they can use that, because negativity drives like views on YouTube, like straight up. It's just, that's how it is. I wish it wasn't. I wish it was just videos of people talking about things they love. Those tend to be the videos that like one in like every 10 will do well when you talk about something you actually like. It's unfortunate, but it's how it is. It's
just the way it is.
And I almost tweeted that out. I almost tweeted like, I don't think you guys understand like how easy this grift is. I have almost tweeted a million different things about the quote unquote drama news tuber scene, and every time I'm like, I know the second I say something, like the second I say something, certain people will arrive at my doorstep who have been waiting for me to say something, you know, like, so, it's not worth it for me to get into it.
My like YouTuber buff is that like I'm not really hated by anyone. Like, no, I'm not.
Everybody likes Penumbral, you know.
I haven't picked a side really in any sort of like of the sort of civil war shit going on.
No.
So I think, you know, I kind of appeal to both, but I also sometimes it means I see both sides. I think like in my chat, it's kind of bad sometimes because in my chat you do get both ends of the spectrum in terms of like when we talk about certain agency, right, you get both types of the spectrum in that same chat, and it's part of me is like nature documentary, like, damn, this is kind of interesting because these people don't actually genuinely interact a lot, but part of me is like, man, I feel like most of the people that are this angry genuinely don't. I feel like you can't be that mad all the time.
No.
Right? Especially when it'll be like about minor thing that someone did.
Yeah.
Not even like a genuine, not even anything that genuinely, if it wasn't coming from a certain person or certain place, nobody would care.
No.
But because it does, people are like, oh, I'm so angry. But like, are you really? Like, when you boil it down to what they actually did, is it ever big a deal?
Yeah, that angry. Like, the only reason I get irritated is because a lot of the times the people that they're going after are people I've known for like damn near a decade, right? Like,
yeah, no.
So for me, it's like, well, that's irritating.
Well, no, I think
it doesn't. But I don't even really. I'm like, I don't particularly care. I know that they're fine. They're adults. They can handle it.
Yeah.
You know.
But also, I mean, I think it's understandable. It's understandable if people are hating on someone. I think hating back or being angry back is understandable because like nobody likes to see people they care about be targeted, right?
Yes.
And I think that's kind of where a lot of situations in VTuber escalate, where something minor will happen that nobody really would care about. And then a bunch of people see that and are like, ooh, I can farm this. And then they get quote unquote angry about it.
Yeah.
It goes up, videos get made. And then obviously the people on the other side feel they get angry because somebody they like is getting attacked.
Yeah.
And then you just have this massive fight over what was like ultimately a very minor non-issue. And it's just, I don't know, man. It's exhausting.
The best is when one of them tries to like an agency VTuber, which I can't even say anymore without going agency VTuber.
Not agency.
Agency VTuber in all caps.
I hate agency VTuber.
Agency VTuber. I use it in my fucking titles because I know that shit gets clicks.
Because it's
VTuber.
ambiguous and people are like, oh, is it my agent? Is it the agency I like?
Yeah. Which agency? Right? Like, but agency VTubers who are like, hey, please don't do that. And then everyone's like, I can't believe that they addressed it. I'm like, well, maybe because you won't shut up about how awful it is. And they're like, can you maybe not? And I'm not just talking about, I'm not even talking about a specific agency here. That's the craziest
it's all
thing.
of them.
All of the agencies are like, your drama tubers kind of like make the scene worse. Right?
Yeah.
And I'm like,
no,
because it's true. Like,
yeah, because I can't imagine, like,
yeah,
I've numerous times on stream been like thankful that I'm right at the level of like audience where like I get an audience, but nobody is like clipping shit I say and like putting it on Twitter and be like, I can't believe Penumbral said this.
Yeah,
because I don't have that level of like crazy haters.
No.
But I can't imagine how draining it must be as a creator, as a streamer, to know that every word you say, somebody is sat there with bated breath waiting to talk about it and like frame it in the worst way possible.
Yeah, like, which is like so corny.
And it's always like, if it was like an official statement, sure, but like sometimes it's literally like they'll be playing Minecraft and like offhand they'll mention something for like 2 sentences.
Yeah.
And then like that 2 sentences will be like 10 seconds of content will get turned into like a 10-minute thing.
Yeah.
It's like,
be more brave. Be Queen Benet. Just make it a whole segment.
Dude,
of a
I
video.
love Quinn.
Quinn is so damn funny.
Quinn's
dude.
so funny.
Yeah, I was like, just grow a pair. Be like Quinn. Like,
I see him on my Twitter all the time. That dude is the funniest.
Quinn is so funny,
person.
dude. He's so funny. Yeah, Quinn is base. It's true. Yeah, just be
genuinely,
Quinn. Just be Quinn.
Like occasionally, because I don't actually like tune into streams as much anymore because I talk to people so much that I'm like, when I want to sit down and like play a game and have something on the other one, it's generally like a video or a podcast.
Yeah, I do like edited VODs and stuff like that now.
I do see like Quinn pops up, especially on my Twitter a lot, because especially with him interacting with like VShojo members a lot more and stuff.
Yeah.
And every time it is the funniest like clip or the most out of pocket sentence, and it is just, I don't know, man. Yeah. He has a very unique energy, and he's very cool.
He's too funny. I see him and Kuro all the time now.
Bro, him and Kuro have the
so
best
funny.
vibe. They are both so fucking funny with each other. Is insane.
They kill me, dude. Like, the interactions are so funny.
It's like you had a very hyperactive cat and a very hyperactive retriever in the same room together, and you're just like,
that's
go.
That's the best way to put it. That's exactly the energy. Yeah. Just
you threw like one
nuts.
treat in the middle, and you're like, off you go, chaps. Have fun.
Watch them fight. Yeah. And then you'll just occasionally have like Michi chime in with like, what the fuck? Like,
yeah, I do like the Michi commentary every so often of like, hey yo, what?
Like, what are you two doing? Nothing. Don't worry
you know that image of like the cat standing up looking, be like, what the hell are they doing over there?
What are they doing over there? That's literally that's Michi.
That's just Michi. Is great.
Yeah. Anyway, interview.
Yes.
We got it. I'm gonna storm through the rest of this. So any plans you can share? I asked that one. So what would you say is your favorite memory so far? Like, as a content creator, like, what's the thing that jumps out as your favorite? It doesn't have to be just one if it's too hard. Like, it could be.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to think. I mean, let's see. It's kind of hard because I don't participate in like big events a lot. I mean, obviously, like the thing that kicked off my channel when like Numi reacted to my video was definitely a what the hell moment, because obviously like Numi is probably the person I followed the most in the VTuber scene. Like, she's amazing. Don't tell her I said that. Don't tell her I said that.
I will.
So like it was so weird to make something and have the person that I like looked up to and like very much liked see it and like enjoy it. And I remember I woke up that day and seeing a comment from her, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, genuinely, the interactions on the tier list were fun as well. Like, the tier list, I mean, I don't talk about the tier list very much anymore because I don't do them because they kind of got a bit old. Very, very similar to the news thing of like the same thing playing out over and over again.
You need some spice.
where I mean, I did a tier list every week for a year. And like you can only group anime people together so many ways before you've done it all, and you're just doing the same jokes. And also it kind of became a thing where like it started out again as very much like a fan. Like I was a fan. It was me and like my boys like putting VTubers in funny tiers, right? And then it got way bigger than I thought it would. Like it ended up getting, tweets that were getting like tens of thousands of likes on Twitter and getting seen by the people that were in it. And at that point, it reached a weird phase of like, oh, I'm now talking about someone when they didn't expressly like necessarily want to be included. And so I kind of just ended up canning the whole thing. But those tier lists as a whole and the interactions from them were probably some of the most fun I've had, because I made so many friends through them. Like so many of the people I know nowadays, like I'm pretty sure like Bree and like Lopi and tangentially other people I met through those two, and then so many of my friends currently, I think even like Evan was also the V Shoujo members that any of them that I've talked to were through that as well. So just those, and getting to like wake up the morning after posting a tier list and scroll through all of the like fucking memes and shit and replies and talk to the people that like up until that point I'd only ever like watched on Twitch. That was probably one of the coolest things for me. I'm sad I had to stop doing them, but I also am very aware that they were getting a bit out of hand.
Yeah, that you were running out of because you can run out of stuff, right? You're like, all right,
Sometimes a form of content just runs its course, right? Like you've done it, it's done, it's a finished thing. You can move on and do another thing. You don't need to keep beating the dead horse until it it dies. Again.
Exactly.
Although I do still, fun little fact, I do still, every time I'm on Twitter and I see a tier list, a little part of my heart skips a beat because I'm like, oh, because I still get people liking my tier. I got someone replied to my feet tier list from like a year ago, and I was like, oh, how did you find this?
Where did you find? How did you find this?
That was the scariest moment. I remember because Kiara responded to that tweet.
No.
I got into like a back and forth with Kiara about feet, which is not the first interaction you want with someone you look. That's not like the first introduction. Hi, I'm the feet guy. Like that's not.
Hey, what's up? I'm the feet guy.
I remember. I've said this before. I remember literally waking up that day, seeing her reply in my like notifications, and then just like putting my phone back down and going back to sleep because I was like, not today. I'm not mentally ready. Maybe like in an hour.
My first interaction with Aya was very similar, where I was just like, so I had made a tweet where it was it's this video of I forget which wrestler it is. It's a wrestler just barking. Titus O'Neil. It was Titus O'Neil just like running up behind Seth Rollins and being like, "Barr, barr, 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 barr," like just like barking, right? And it was that, and I was like, this outfit though, and it was Aya's 2.0, right? And it was just that barking, and I was just going off, and the Aya admirers were like, this is very wholesome to watch Underhill freak out over Aya's debut. And Aya saw that, and then from then on, I was like, all Aya would do is like rip into me for barking at her at one point. And I was like, I'll never live that down. And then she became Kamiyoshi, which the Rosemi body pillow in the background is very upset about that.
Oh, poor Rosemi.
Poor Rosemi.
It is fun when you get to interact with like people that previously were just like content. I remember the first time I raided into Scarlet, and again that was around the time of the tier list, and she literally like paused stream for like 10 minutes, pulled up my tier list, and was like, "Hey, what the fuck?"
Yeah, what is this?
It was so great. Funny. Scarlet's so cool.
Scarlet's the best. Scarlet's a real one. Yeah, I'm very happy to see all the people in the space just love Scarlet. She's
everybody loves Scarlet.
Yeah, she's so awesome. She absolutely deserves it. Okay. What do you think has surprised you the most in your journey so far through about VTubing? Like, what's the VTubing thing that surprised you the most?
I think the VTubing thing that surprised me the most. I mean, I think most content creators can probably say this, but the idea that people like watch your stuff is very strange.
It is a little odd, yeah.
It's very weird to know that, like, especially like when it's things on like Twitter or something, I can like put out a dumb tweet, and then like it's weird to see views on that and see like, oh wait, like 100 people were like, yeah, this, and liked it. I'm like, this is just a dumb thought I had at like 3 a.m. It's weird in your head to like know that the shorts are the weird thing for me. Like when I post a short and I'm like, yeah, no, if like 200,000 people are gonna see this, it's a very weird mental thing to get over, of like this shitty little short script that I wrote in like an hour of like summarizing things. Yeah, no, like two to 300,000 people might eventually hear this. It's very weird. Honestly though, in terms of surprises, I'm kind of shocked at just like how quickly and how many like genuine like friends I've made in the space, which sounds weird, but like the first, I want to say like year of content creation, I was very much in a bubble. Like I was very much just doing my own thing, like kind of, you know, toiling away, doing my own stuff, not really going to collabs or like speaking to many people that weren't like outside also doing like news content. But like in the last year, bro, I've met so many new people and have genuinely like became friends with so many of them, to the point where like I'd count them among like some of my best friends.
Yeah.
And it's weird. It's strange, but it's also very, very wholesome.
That's the nicest answer I've heard to this, because usually it's like how weird everyone is. It's like, yeah.
Well, I dodged that a lot. Also, I was in anime discords from like the age of 15, so if there's one thing that didn't surprise me, it was how weird everyone is.
Yeah. You became used to it real quick.
This is just same shit, different skin, right? This is just a recolor, basically. Like it
truly is when you think about it.
I've been in anime discords. I've seen the types of people in there, and a lot of VTuber fans are from the same cloth. So it's like, yeah, no, they're demanding feet pics. Yeah, no, I've seen that before. Oh, they were weirdly parasocial in DMs. Yeah, no, that makes sense.
That tracks. So, yeah.
Also, I think I've looked. I don't really have that interaction with my audience at all. I don't know how I did it. That might also be one of the most surprising things, because I think a lot of shorts creators especially get very weird audiences and weird chats and stuff, because you get a lot of numbers, you get a mass appeal, but the people that you're reaching aren't necessarily like in the VTuber space, right? Yes. And a lot of time you'll get a ton of viewers on a stream, but they'll be either kids because it's the shorts feed, or they'll be weirdly demeaning, or they'll just be weird about the whole VTubing thing as a whole.
Yeah.
But somehow, even though I'm a mainly shorts creator, my audience is generally pretty cool. Like I don't have any parasocial people, because I've said multiple times, I'm like, if you start getting parasocial, I will call you cringe.
I will make
so
fun of
I don't have like the babying audience that are like weirdly sort of demeaning. Yeah. I also don't have like the weirdly angry audience that is like, yeah, fuck them up and you get it. Like I have a very chill audience. My audience very much kind of reflects me in terms of my attitude to things, in terms of being generally pretty chill and like very passive. And I noticed that especially if I have a stream that like pops off because like a big drama or anything happened and new people come in, I'm like, oh yeah, that's what most people have to deal with. Like sometimes I go 3-4 streams in a row without a moderator having to do anything. Like they don't have to ban anyone or time anyone out, because everyone's just generally pretty chill. Which I don't know how I got that lucky, considering I have so many friends that have like done similar kind of content paths who have ended up with horrible audiences. But I'm lucky.
Yeah, I can't imagine that. Zup, could you imagine having a stream where there was no stress? my poor mods. They have it okay. I don't think they have it like that bad.
It's also not really your fault. Let's be honest.
Like, I don't know. Do you guys have it that bad, moderators? I don't know. I think the
shout out to mods.
The parliament's usually pretty good. You do have the occasional like, you're not as good as this other guy that I watch, you know?
Yeah.
But like, yeah, we have it okay. You got good beans here, Underhill. Yeah, okay. Yeah, because I was like, we usually have it pretty good. There's occasionally like someone who's just like a snot. We had somebody in the Discord who was like a bit of a problem child for a while.
My Discord is the opposite. My Discord for the most part is kind of the worst.
Oh really? That's funny.
My Discord is kind of spiraled. Like it started getting a little bit bad a while back, and then I just never really addressed it, and it's just kind of sort of like it's still the people in there. Like I know a lot of them, they're still pretty good, but because I haven't really paid much attention to it, I know there's some shit that goes on in there, and I'm like, oh, I should probably deal with that, but I also don't want to.
It's like
thankfully,
your Discord's like a Minecraft server that's been left alone for too long.
Pretty much,
like,
yeah. It's
happened?
like none of the people in there are bad. Like individually, like they're all pretty cool, but like as a collective, sometimes I look at what they're saying and doing, and I'm like, oh.
What have
thankfully,
you done?
we did get rid of did get rid of all the genuinely harmful, hurtful people, which is good. So it's just a little bit cringe, which hey, probably fits me pretty well.
You know what? That's valid. I respect that. But now comes the horrible part.
Oh no.
Now comes the scary part. Are you prepared for the scary part? The game
Absolutely
part
not.
of this.
Oh god. Okay.
All right. Let me open this up here.
I'm gonna get negative points, chat.
Hang
Just
on.
you watch.
I have to. Why is my phone being dumb? I need my phone for a moment.
I'm docking points from you every
From
second
me?
you take. Yeah,
Alright.
you're in this game now.
Okay, this is the rapid fire question portion of the thing. Okay, so I'm going to ask you 7 questions, and you
Okay.
have a minute to answer them. So you have
In total?
in total, not like per
Okay.
question. You have a minute
Okay.
in total
Oh.
to answer all 7.
Oh,
No one has failed yet.
you are reawakening all of my high school anxieties, Underhill.
This is your pop quiz. Pop quiz, hot shot.
Okay.
All right,
Sure.
are you ready?
I'm as ready as I'll ever be.
All right, here we go. Timer starts now. What's your favorite book?
Oh, Wheel of Time.
Good answer. What's your favorite movie?
Oh, Demon Slayer. Mugen Train.
Okay. Favorite
It's just
anime?
oh god, either ReZero or Hyoka. Let's go Hyoka.
Awesome answer. Favorite video game?
Rocket League.
Favorite board game?
Catan.
Favorite band/musician?
Oh god, NF.
And lastly, who is your Oshi?
Oh, it's Numi, isn't it? You can't ask me that. It's mean.
Is it Newbie? Is that your answer?
It's Numi.
Okay, 52 seconds. You made it. You
You can't put me under a timer and then make me admit Numi's my Oshi. That's really mean.
I really put you under the.
I don't think I've ever said that live on stream before.
There you go.
Every time
His
I'm like, nah, I
Oshi.
hate her. She's the worst.
That's so funny. Now it's in stone.
Cemented.
May everyone remember this moment in time.
Yeah. In case the like 5 videos on my channel didn't give it away.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, that's everything. That's the interview. Thank you for joining
We did
me.
it.
You did it. You made it to
We
the
only
end.
went on like 5 tangents.
Yeah, no, it was good. We made it under. I mean, these usually go for like an hour to an hour and a half. So like, you know, we somehow made it under time. We're good. We're good.
So, some of those answers I was like Mugen Train is not my favorite movie, but it was the only
Just,
movie
like,
I could
the one that
in the
jumped
moment.
ahead.
For some reason, Mugen Train was the only movie that popped into my head. I actually don't. I'm not like a big movie guy. I don't watch many movies.
No, neither do I. If you ask me, like my favorite movie is probably any of the Lord of the Rings movies. Like they're interchangeable for me. But if you ask me, like, okay, beyond that, I'd be like The Hobbit, I guess.
Yeah.
Like
Like
and then,
even
like I
even
guess
for anime.
Broly, like the Dragon Ball Super Broly.
the Dragon Ball
movie.
Z.
It's
Yeah.
just suddenly this huge tone shift in what I like.
I think like in terms of anime movies, I think A Silent Voice was actually higher than Mugen Train for me. I think genuinely that was a much more impactful movie.
Yeah.
Like Mugen Train was cool. I liked it. It was a very cool movie, very well animated. But and then in terms of non-anime movies, I don't even know. Maybe like I feel like something like Inglourious Bastards or something was
That's a
very
good
very
one,
good.
though. Yeah,
That's,
that's a
the acting in that is great. I don't know, but
I have no shame though. Like if people go to my Annie list, like which I still
no.
use,
we should do a comparison stream where we both just compare our my anime lists.
I am so down for that. I am so
and
down.
completely. I've looked at it in the like recently because
Yeah.
I made it when I was like 18, and
Yeah.
my taste is horrific. What was I cooking?
I think the last time I updated it was when I was still an EnvTuber. So it was maybe like a year and a half ago. But I have like my favorites section, right? And
Yeah.
it has like my favorite my favorite anime, my favorite manga, my favorite characters, and I have them sorted into because unfortunately anime doesn't have a lot of NB characters, right? So it's usually just male, female. So I was like, okay, my favorite guys, my favorite girls, right? Best boys, best girls. And that's how hard, like I I have a slight bit of the neurodivergence, so everything has to be organized for me.
Right.
That's my big thing.
Fair.
And so I have no shame. It's top 11 just because on my one monitor, 11 was the most it could go without it looking like uneven. So like technically my 10th favorite quote unquote anime of all time is the fucking Broly movie.
Of course.
But then the Given movie is ahead of that, right? So people.
Yeah.
So like my taste is so random because it's like Fruits Basket, Free, Haikyuu. It's the Scott Pilgrim anime. Like,
bro, my thing is that like as a kid watching it, I was way too generous. Like I was way too not critical of the media I was consuming.
Oh yeah.
And then I stopped using my anime list until I was in like uni, and then my stuff from uni is a lot more critical. So you have weird things where like. I don't want to look at where like Sword Art Online is in here, but I know like Sword Art Online probably has like a 7 or an 8, and I've probably given like season 4 Attack on Titan like a 7 as well, and those two are not equivalent.
I could tell you right now. Hey, what did I give Sword Art? I am so curious. So I have my Annie list lets you like actually change what style of rating, which is why I like the Annie list more, because you could do like straight up just thumbs up. You could do great, meh, or bad, and for me I do out of 5, but you can also do out of 10 as well. So for me, out of 5 stars, I gave Sword Art a 3 out of 5, which is pretty generous. But I stand by that because like when Sword Art hits, it like really hits.
Yeah,
well, but it sometimes does not hit.
I gave Sword Art Online 2 an 8, which I actually don't like. Sword Art Online 2 was definitely better than the first one.
What did I give to? I gave two a 4. Well, because the Asuna,
which is about an 8,
is so good. Like I think the Mother's Rosario is like the best part of the whole thing.
Bro, if you could split up season 1 Sword Art into 2 sections, I think I'd have ranked it higher. But like the second section of I could rant about Sword Art for a while.
Alicization I have as like like that's also a 4, you know? Like,
I haven't seen that yet, but I've seen good things about it.
Alicization was great. I reviewed that weekly, like as that shit was coming out. What a trip, because there was like, I remember when they were like, Alicization's coming out and it's 4 cores long, and everyone's like, wait, I'm sorry, we're getting an entire year of Sword Art Online, and that's what we got.
I think the most I remember seriously shouting about it once. Like
it was so like people forget how big Sword Art was.
So
it was
big.
Huge.
My top shows are Steins Gate, Anohana is up there, Hyoka. I love Hyoka.
Hyoka's so good.
Hyoka. Origairu's up here. I don't know if I'd give that.
Really? That's
I liked Origairu, but I don't think I'd put it as one of my top. I liked it. I do think Origairu's good. Do you disagree? Do you want to talk about it?
No, I'm just surprised that it would be like top.
Origairu for me, I think is up there just because Origairu is like my media literacy progression anime in terms of like I've watched that I think 3 times, and I think every time I've realized that I had the wrong interpretation the last time I watched it, and it's allowed me to really like reframe my ability to consume media critically. So it kind of holds a special place in my heart for that. I probably wouldn't give it a 10 out of 10 though. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. Like because I was like 10 out of 10. That's why I was like really okay, really.
Plastic Memories is up here, which I like Plastic Memories.
Plastic Memories is pretty solid. Underrated.
I'm getting Lopi to watch that because I want her to cry in call. I think that'd be really funny.
Have you seen Banana Fish?
I've not seen, but I've heard about Banana Fish. I've not seen it.
You should watch it and then tell me about
it. Are you trying to get me to cry and call now?
I was like, you should watch it and then tell me what you think. Most of the things I like tend to be like, well, that's the thing, because people have a hard time taking recommendations from me, because a lot of my friends are like, okay, but like, is it BL bait or is it BL or like? And I'm like, it's usually BL bait. Like it's usually BL or BL bait that I recommend. But that's just because, like, obviously.
That's what you like.
Yeah. And people are like, well, why is Dragon Ball in there? I'm like, because Dragon Ball's BL bait.
What?
Yeah. Like, people are like, what? And I'm like, yes. I did a whole stream where I explained, like, that Dragon Ball is quite gay, actually. Like, and...
I'm sure that went over great.
Oh, it was great.
I'm sure the Dragon Ball fans loved that.
Oh yeah, no, they were so happy. Hey, hang on, I have to. Hang on, I'm gonna see if I still. Yeah, because I made it like a slideshow. I am tempted to make this like a series of like.
Oh god.
Like, yeah, like blank is actually a BL.
Your favorite anime is gay, actually.
Yeah, your favorite gay anime is super gay, actually. Like,
not as an insult, it just is.
Yeah, it just like not as an insult. That's a good thing. You know, like yeah, my reasons were Goku and Vegeta. I mean, come on, like, and then that every BL anime has the mandatory straight friend, and that's Krillin, because he gets with 18 and he never really gives me BL vibes. But then you have your side gay, your side gay ship, which is Piccolo and Android 17. People are like, what? And I'm like, yeah, because when they were fighting, there was a rainbow in the background.
Like, oh my god, I'm sure they would love that. It was a huge
reach, but yeah.
Yeah, no, my shows are very much either like shonen beating each other up, or they're like social commentary stuff. Like,
yeah, well, that's fun. Well, one of my favorite manga that I've ever read is technically social commentary, and it was the Death Note A Kira. I don't know if you checked that out. It was like the one shot they did.
No, I've seen Death Note, but I haven't read the manga.
They did this. You don't really like the show is like equivalent, right? Like and so I had checked out Akira, which is about like this new kid gets the Death Note, and it's Ryuk, like who's actually like hanging with him, but it's a one shot, and it's just what this kid does, and I'm like, that is so smart. Cool. I won't spoil what he does. It's so smart.
I just got jump scared. I gave No Game No Life a 9 out of 10.
Wow,
what was
that's
cooking?
Very generous.
What? I mean, hey, that's a pretty show, but it's also a show you can't recommend to anyone ever. I went back and rewatched it like a few years back, and I was like, dear God, what were they doing?
That's so funny.
Haikyuu's up here. Haikyuu's great.
Haikyuu is great. Haikyuu, everyone like it's funny because everyone's like Haikyuu is like gay boys playing volleyball. And I'm like, I don't really like. I do understand that. I understand that. Like, I get why people would think that. People
do it with every sport.
Yeah, every sport. But to be fair, most sports is quite gay. Like,
oh yeah, I mean, I was in so many sports teams growing up. There's a lot of homoerotic.
Yeah, there's a lot of like, it goes a little far. I just like it's just I can't really think of like a ship from Haikyuu that I'm like I love it. You know, I'm just kind of like, yeah, they're fine. Like,
my only complaint with like Haikyuu shipping and whatnot is that it's one of those shows where I feel like the fan base got so into the BL part that the show itself kind of got washed away. Like, you can't have a legit discussion about Haikyuu itself because everybody's like, oh my god, Kageyama and Hinata, they're so gay for each other. It's like, sure,
I never saw that. I always saw them as like, fuck you, I'm better than you. You know?
Yeah, like they're rivals. Like,
yeah,
I think there are definitely ships you could have in the show. Like, I think there's definitely. I wouldn't.
Kuroken, yeah, I agree with Zup. I think Kuroken's good. Like,
I wouldn't besmirch anyone. Yeah, that works.
Yeah.
But like, I wouldn't say you have no ships at all. But like, when everybody's only obsession is like getting this character, fucks this character. So when it's about like 15-year-old boys, there's a little bit of like a weirdness to it where it's like, okay, calm down.
It's a little bit, yeah. Well, because to be like, I think it's because people are like, why would you ship them? I'm like, because I'm ace. So like, unless I otherwise specify, right? Most of the ships that I ship, I'm like, I just like when those characters are on screen. You know, like, but there's some people who want to see them fuck. You know, like that's part of it. I think
you get a bit of pushback, I think, as well, because like the Haikyuu community does feel. I don't know if you've interacted. I've interacted with the Haikyuu community a bit because I really like the show.
Yeah.
But it does feel very much like if you're not into BL, like if you're not wanting to talk about it constantly, there's very little space for you because all of it is.
It's very BL heavy. Yeah, that's true.
Again, even when they're not explicitly talking about it, that there's that sort of undertone there of it, and it's a bit hard to get away from. It's a bit overwhelming, I suppose.
When I agree with Zup. Like, it's one of the, like, there's a lot of ships in it, but like also it's a damn good show.
It's such a good show.
And it does the thing, and I've seen so many people be like, I don't know why you get so bent out of shape about it, but it bothers me. It did the thing that every friggin' anime now does, where it's like, we're a TV show. Until the last arc, in which case we're a movie now. And I'm like, stop doing that. I hate it.
Stop doing movies. Like, movies work for like, I think like I mean, second time talking about it. I don't know. Have you seen the Demon Slayer movie? Mugen Train?
Mugen Train I've seen, yeah.
Yeah. Like, I think that works as a movie because it's a very concentrated one arc. It's not the final arc. It's not the end of the series. It's just like one thing, and you make it a movie so that you can make a compact, very well animated, high budget thing. I don't think it works as like a finale because you have so much to cover, and I don't think you're ever going to be able to cover enough in that space. Yeah. And also, I ain't trying to sit down and watch 2 hours of an anime at once sometimes, man. I kind of want the episode.
No, I'm an episodes guy. That's the most that I can't sit still for very long, right? Like, so for me, I need like to be super engaged, or it needs to be short. And it's one of the reasons why I like anime as opposed to like a lot of live action shit now. Because most live action shows are like a friggin' hour long now per episode, right? Shout out Doctor Who. Right, but Doctor Who I can take because it's Doctor Who and it holds me.
We wrap back around. We bookend it.
Yeah, we bookend it. But like with like one of my top shows is JoJo's. I love JoJo's.
Yeah,
JoJo's is
you
is
give up JoJo vibes.
Yeah, 100%. Well,
I mean, JoJo's is just anime wrestling, really. Like.
JoJo's is just anime wrestling, where it's like, this is totally gay, but we're all gonna pretend like it's not. You know, like, and it's like, especially as the like, by the time you get to Golden Wind, Araki's just like, I like gay shit and fashion. Like, you know, he just stops trying. Peak. Yeah, he's just, I like gay shit and fashion, and all the shonen bros somehow went peak. Like, and I'm like, okay, so do we admit that everything's a little bit gay? No. And I'm like,
no.
Okay. Like, all right then.
It's got to slowly like indoctrinate them. Like, yes,
it's through
come
anime.
to the dark side.
That's the JoJo's is how you do it, right? You're like, look, yeah, fashion, right? And everyone's like, yeah, high fashion is kind of baller, actually. You know, like, and then you're like, yeah, check out this sports series, Yuri on Ice. Like, it's by Mappa. You'll love it.
Every time I think about Yuri on Ice, I think of the anime awards fiasco from because that was so funny.
Like, I love Yuri on Ice. I am far more of a Yuri on Ice fan than an Erased fan. But fuck you, Erased the kiss was more impact, because I still think the kiss is super impactful. I love the kiss. But more impactful than a child who has never known love and comfort.
Oh my god. Like, that scene where like she sits down for like a warm dinner and then she just bursts into tears because nobody has ever loved her before.
Kyle,
bro,
this is so sad.
You can't say that shit don't hit.
Yeah, I was like, come
that's like a universal like.
Wait, it's funny because I remember Yuri on Ice fans being like, "What are you smoking? Like, that is not the same. Like, that is way more impactful." Like,
I think. Well, that was the thing that was a lot of people's issue with it, wasn't it? It was like, yeah, Yuri on Ice fans that hadn't really seen the other shows that year who just kind of assumed that, yeah, Yuri on Ice should win everything. And then because there were so many of them, they did kind of win a lot.
It was a popularity contest that year.
Like, I mean, because there were some things that I agree. Like, I think it was the opening like that year for Yuri on Ice. Was that the opening or ending that was just fucking banging? Like, it was an amazing opening.
The opening. Well, the ending was good too, but it was the opening.
The ending was good. But I think wasn't the ending up against like Mob Psycho's ending where they like did like full-blown glass painting animation, which was just out of this world. Like,
and then it won. Like,
yeah. I think Yuri on Ice ended up winning, didn't it? And that's people got mad because like, yeah, it wasn't a bad ending for Yuri on Ice, but like, come on, it's a glass.
Yeah.
Like, from what I remember with the animation of the Yuri on Ice ending, it was pretty much just people looking at their phones. Like,
yeah. So they're flipping through pictures on their like Instagram. Like,
which isn't like it's not a terrible ending animation, but it doesn't.
It's fun. Like,
but it's not Mob Psycho.
No, Mob Psycho. Like that's another series where I'm like, I don't want to hear a bad word about that show. Like,
bro, Mob Psycho's so good.
It's so good. It's so.
I have that in my top, and you know what? I just realized. So I was just looking at my anime list. I gave Shield Hero a 9 out of 10. I'm
ending the stream.
I'm so sorry.
I remember like, so I read the first volume of Shield Hero. It sits on my shelf now. I can see it, and I remember thinking like, man, now Fumi's like a dick, right? Like the main character, like, he's such an asshole, right? But like he didn't deserve what happened in any way. But like, no, I mean, he's a huge douche. And then everyone in the community be like, he's such a mood, and I'm like, yep, I'm done. No more community for me.
It very much attracted the like Sigma anime fans. Yeah, like, he's so me for real. He also hates women.
Yeah, and I'm like a lot of like telling on themselves type shit going on. Yeah, I was like,
I mean, the thing is, I liked it because I like I like it when characters are bad. Like I like it when they have bad traits, when they have bad personalities. I love it when a character is not. They're not misunderstood. They're not fixable. They have bad morals, and maybe the show is about them learning to have not so bad. Like fucking my favorite character development in Avatar, which everyone always talks about, is Sokka, because Sokka wasn't like necessarily misunderstood. He was legitimately like he had some problematic ideas about women.
He's a bit of a misogynist, Sokka.
But then he learns and he develops, and that's how you have actual character development. Whereas I feel like nowadays a lot of people are like, no, if the character isn't perfect from the beginning, they're problematic and they shouldn't exist.
Well, I like. Well, it's like I remember when I was a kid, one of the characters I loved like a shit ton was Guts. Like I loved Guts, right? And I still love Guts. He's a horrible person.
He's a horrible human being.
Yeah, he's a bad person. Like
the number of people that don't get that's the thing that fills me with sadness, is when people don't get that bad characters are bad. You ever see like Breaking Bad or any show like that where you have like a main character who's like, oh, this is the bad guy. He's a bad guy, but he's the protagonist, but he's bad. And some people can't wrap their head around that, so they're like, yeah, Walter White, he's so cool. And
he's so cool. And I'm like, no, if you make
the point,
if you make the protagonist the villain of the story, people will get confused because media literacy is dead. Like,
people genuinely are befuddled. They're like, but he's the good guy. He's who I should be voting for.
I will never forget the amount of hate I got when I was like, maybe like murdering 98% of humanity is bad in Titan. Maybe that's bad.
Bro, Eren is the worst for it. People do not understand that he is. Yes, he is a demonstration of how easy it is for someone to be kind of radicalized by hatred and go way too far the other way. He is he's a caricature. He's a tale of like how easy it is to slip him from being a victim into being the perpetrator. Literally, they spell it out for you multiple times throughout the series where he is like doing the same thing to the people across the sea as they did to him at the beginning.
Yes.
And some people still just don't fucking get it.
No,
they're still just like, yeah, pop off, king.
Yeah. People
you kill
like,
that child.
Yeah, kill those children, right? And I'm
it's like, no.
What the fuck? That's not the lesson. Yeah.
That's not what this show is about.
Yeah. Like
media literacy is so fucked.
Yeah, no, it is dead. Light or Eren, who is worse? Light is far worse than Eren, but
Light
Eren's
is
still
worse.
bad. Yeah, Light is far worse.
Eren is a realistic tale of a human being who, through being victimized, became the evil he sought to fight at the beginning. Yeah. Light is just kind of a psychopath.
Light is just a dickhead.
Light is just kind of
douchebag with unlimited power.
He's kind of out of pocket.
Yeah. Like, don't get me wrong, he's mad entertaining. Well, that's the other thing too that kills me. That people are like, I can't like what's the so when Skate came out, do you remember Skate?
Yes, I do remember Skate. Dude, the dub for that was fucking great.
What up, bitches and bros and non-binary hoes? It's so good. So funny.
It's so funny.
And like that dude, Adam, is so entertaining. He is wildly entertaining throughout the whole show. But people are like, but he's bad. And I'm like, yes.
People's inability to realize when like a bad character can be charismatic, and that's like, I mean, you saw the whole thing even with like real life. Like I think it was like the Ted Bundy. Was it a show or a movie?
It was a movie. Yeah, with Zac Efron.
And obviously Zac Efron was very charismatic and he played it very well. And you had all these people like, man, I'd have loved him. He was the best friend. He's like, yeah, that's the point. He was a very,
you're not supposed to, he's charismatic, but you're not supposed to like
evil
for the guy.
Yeah. He's a showing of how like you can be likable and still be heinous and absolutely detestable at your core. Exactly. So some people see the charisma and they're like, what do you mean?
They're too charmed by the Riz. You know? Like
they're too rizzed up.
Yeah, they're too rizzed up. Yeah, it's like no. You still need to be media literacy.
He's still very problematic.
Yeah,
please. Media. Have you seen Tumblr? Have you seen the pissing on the poor meme?
No.
Like, there's a meme on Tumblr about like someone being like, man, media literacy on this site is piss poor, and someone being like, man, I can't believe you're pissing on the poor. It's like this in joke of like media literacy just being dead.
I love goofy Tumblr memes though. They're so funny.
Tumblr has some of the funny shit, but also some of the shit that makes me want to pull my eyeballs out. It's like, it is a metronome of like, man, I love this. Man, why did you make me see that?
That's all of Tumblr. I was like I was one of those people who was on Tumblr in its heyday, and like
Mm-hmm.
that was the entire site. It was just like, I hate this, but I love this, and I can't look away. It was awful. But on that note, I am gonna end stream. We're gonna end stream.
Yeah.
We went longer than we were supposed to.
Neither of us can shut the fuck up.
Yeah, see, exactly. But that's a good thing. We're having fun.
It is good. You weren't here for the realist one I did like a year ago, where it went for like several hours, like 6 hours or something.
We're not doing that. We're not.
Do you want to go for 6 hours?
No,
man.
I gotta do stuff, and by stuff I mean I want food and I'm hungry.
Okay, that's not where I thought that joke was going.
No, yeah, but I got stuff to do, and by stuff I mean Minecraft, and by do I mean play.
I'm stuff.
Yeah, I'm stuff. Hello, stuff. Yeah, I got stuff to do. Hey,
Jonathan,
stuff,
you were banging my daughter.
Okay.
All right.
Penumbral, thanks for hanging out with me. I appreciate it.
Thank you for inviting me.
Of course, man. If you haven't checked out Penumbral, I doubt it. If you watch this channel, you probably are a fan of the other. But like,
I don't know, man.
You never know. Penumbral stuff will be linked in the description. Thank you, as always, for hanging out.
Thank you for
I
the
appreciate
invite.
it.
It was super fun. I enjoyed talking about anime with someone.
Hell yeah, we went off on anime for a lot longer than I
We
thought.
did, and Doctor Who.
And Doctor Who too. But before we do it again, goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.